Wildlife experts are keeping a close eye on sharply declining bat populations around the state this summer to evaluate the number of animals killed by a mysterious illness. In tonight's Environment Report, Ed Rogers visited a monitoring project in South Jersey.
As the sun sets over the Delaware Bay, a young bald eagle scans Sapona Meadows. Although it may look like the scene from an M. Night Shyamalan film, these 20 dedicated volunteers have gathered around this barn at this wildlife refuge to count the number of bats that will fly out of the structure. The century-old barn was almost demolished, but the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service saved the structure after a huge maternity roost for bats was discovered. It's perfect habitat. During the day, the bats stay between the tin roof and the wooden ceiling to breed during the summer.
Maternity colony needs areas that are really warm, like a little bit hotter than average. So the areas underneath a roof provide a lot of heat. So that's one of the areas that, one of the reasons that they probably do like the barn.
By maintaining this barn, the Fish and Wildlife Service is also able to monitor the impact of a disease that's blamed for killing hundreds of thousands of bats across the Northeast. It's called white nose syndrome, named for the fungus that's been found around the muzzles and wings of the bats that have perished.
It's something, though, that we're learning more and more about every day. It is still somewhat of a mystery, and unfortunately they are finding new areas that are affected. I had read recently at least about 400,000 bats or so have though died from this syndrome, so it is something that we're very concerned about.
Researchers are trying to determine whether climate change plays any role in the illness. A group of volunteers and the Wildlife Service have been restoring the barn by replacing beams and roof slats. 3 counts will be conducted this summer. As night and darkness fall, there's an unsettling observation. 184 bats are recorded. That compares to more than 1,200 last June. The cause of the drop?
Could be a variety of factors. White nose syndrome is certainly in the area, so it could be that fewer bats are coming back to the maternity colony. It could also be that maybe the temperature's not right, that the temperature's not warm enough for them because of the barn stabilization.
Biologists will capture and examine some of the barn bats next month to check on their health.
The best thing we can do now is get solid data on how many bats we have, generally what their health is, and just continue to learn more about what they need to survive, be able to provide suitable habitat, and then, sort of adapt with the way nature is working as best we can.
Wildlife experts say bats play an important role in keeping mosquito numbers in check. Ed Rogers, NJN News, Pennsville, Salem County.